Rajendra Kumar Ponnambalam, you have 7 minutes.
I thank you, Honourable Presiding Member. Sir, a few weeks ago, I spoke in this House saying that I feel that we are at a golden moment. I said that because I felt that for the first time, you have a situation where the Sinhalese people are questioning their own leaders. They are questioning their own leaders because if you take the last elections, they felt that Gotabaya Rajapaksa and the Rajapaksa family probably are the only people who can in some way salvage this country for them. They felt that in the backdrop of after 2015 when the regime changed, within 3 months of that regime you had a situation like the central bank bond scam and various other corrupt practices, politicized practices that disillusioned them. The reason why in our reading 2015 the people voted the Rajapaksas out was because they were corrupt. They were corrupt and the family needed to be treated a lesson. That was the message that came from the Sinhalese majority. But when they felt that the Rajapaksas should be treated a lesson, when that very same government behaved in the way it did, then ultimately they felt that regardless of whatever faults, we have to bring back the Rajapaksas because they are the only ones who can to some extent steady this boat. But today those very same people are out on the streets saying that they want the Rajapaksas out. They want President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and his government out. Now in this, amidst all of this, Honourable Presiding Member, there is a question that is being asked of the Tamil people. And that is, why is it that in the Northeast, the Tamil people who have consistently voted against the Rajapaksas, who have consistently stood for accountability so that Gotabaya Rajapaksa can stand before an international court and so that Tamil people can get justice, why is it that consistently when the Tamil people have voted against and stood against what they consider to be genocideers and war criminals, why is it that when the South is up in arms, when the ordinary Sinhalese people are against those very same people, the Northeast, which is predominantly Tamil speaking and Tamil, is quiet? Make no mistake, they are quiet not because they don't want the Rajapaksas out. Of course they do. Of course they do. Our party included. We were the first to sign a no confidence motion against the government. Make no mistake. But there is some huge vacuum, Honourable Presiding Member, that the ordinary Sinhalese people who are out on the streets protesting must fully understand. Today the Tamil people see a moment because the Sinhalese people are calling into question 74 years of leadership and 74 years of system. It is the same thing that the Tamil people have been saying for the last 74 years, that this system is a failure. It will bankrupt this country. It is a system that is exclusivist, that will sideline people, that will create enemies within the state, and you need to change it. But today, when the Sinhalese people themselves are saying that what is the message that is coming out of this House, even the opposition who want change, who are tabling bills in Parliament to bring about change, are talking about the executive presidency and the repealing of it, along with certain other changes. The executive presidency, Honourable Presiding Member, is the only institution that the minorities, the Tamils, the Muslims and the upcountry Tamils feel that they have some leverage on. Because you need 50+% of the votes in order to get elected on the first round. And that means that the non-Sinhalese actually have leverage. And that is why traditionally the non-Sinhalese parties and the non-Sinhalese people have generally felt that the executive presidency is a moderating factor, because a person who aspires to that position will have to in some way allay the fears of the non-Sinhalese.
Honorable member, you have
But it is that very same
You have a 2 minutes.
institution now that the Sinhalese people want out. And we fully understand that, because it is an undemocratic, it is a dictatorial system that needs to go, that the Sinhalese people have got hurt by. We understand that, we respect that, and we are prepared to support that. But if you only understand that for 74 years we have been asking for a system change as well, and if you do not accept that system change that empowers all the peoples of this country, that says that Sri Lanka belongs to all its peoples, not only the Sinhalese Buddhists, but also the Tamils, also the Muslims and the upcountry Tamils, if you're not prepared to do that, then today's change is only premised on the lack of democracy towards the Sinhalese people and the South. That is the wrong message that is being given, Honourable Presiding Member. The executive presidency, if it has to go, needs a referendum. Well, if you are prepared to face a referendum, surely you should be prepared to go before the people by changing the whole system. But no, not a single party in opposition, other than the Tamil parties, are talking about a system that can in fact empower the Tamil people. So that has to change. I'm winding up, sir. That has to change. It is our view that we are willing to be full partners with the Sinhalese people in changing this system completely. Not only the executive presidency, but a system that recognizes that Sri Lanka has to, if ever it is to recover and to live to its true potential, that Sri Lanka is a multinational, plurinational country, and a constitution that can only bring that reality into being is one of a federal nature. And it is time that the Sinhalese people understand that their leaders will never tell them the truth, that federalism has nothing to do with separation. On the contrary, that federalism is the system that is pursued by countries that are foremost economically in this world.
Please wind up,
and has shown that in countries where federal institutions have been recognized for non-majoritarian systems, those people have rejected separation. In Canada, why even in other countries? So on that basis, Honourable Presiding Member, I urge the ordinary Sinhalese people who are trying so hard today to change this country for the better, to have a complete system change, to put pressure on their leaders, whether it be on that side or this side.
Please wind up, Honourable Member, please wind up.
To make this a system change that empowers the Tamils, the Muslims, the upcountry Tamils, as well as the Sinhalese Buddhists. And that will be the success.
Thank you very much.
Everything
Please
else will be a failure.